Hello and welcome to another Let's Play for slytigergaming. My name is Todd and today I am playing Always Remember Me, which is a Steam game available on PC. It's basically, from my understanding, it's a dating sim, and all of these people, not her, but all the other guys, potential potential dates. Now, I'll be playing as, I think her name's Amy, but it came up like Emma. That's her, that's me, that's me. That's me for this game. And that's my boyfriend, to begin with. I'll explain that now. So basically, the game, from the synopsis I've seen, I play as Amy, and my boyfriend has forgotten me. He's had an accident, he's forgotten me. And I can either try to win him back and help him remember, or I can move on and find somebody else. So I haven't decided. I'm kind of just gonna see how. I don't even know her boyfriend yet. I mean, I might not want to stay with him, so I'm gonna go through and meet all the people, and maybe Amy just wants to be by herself. But yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, this is Always Remember Me, and we're gonna start now. Show interface tutorial. All right. How to play. Clicking the right mouse button or escape key will bring up the game menu. From there you can load, save or change the game options like music, sound effects or voice volume. If you're replaying the game in search of a new ending, holding down the control key will fast forward through any text you've already seen. Okay. On the screen is the status panel. At the top is the current date and time of the day. Each day is split into 7 parts: dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, sunset and night. Each part represents one game turn, and you will automatically go home at night every day to sleep. Below you can see the 4 main statistics: culture, creativity, romance and discipline. You can raise those statistics during the game by performing certain activities in specific areas. For example, visiting the library to read books increases your culture. Below them is a Shibi, I think it's pronounced Shibi, or Chibi, or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, it's her. I just pointed at the screen, but of course you can't see that. But in the bottom left hand corner, there is Amy, and that's her current mood. So currently she's got 80 morale and 50 energy, so she's alright. Lastly, morale and energy values are very important, since they affect your work performance and influence the availability of some actions in the game. You can raise those values in several locations, and they also go up every night when you go to sleep. Okay. Map system. Wow, I really wish I hadn't clicked through all this now. With the map system, with it you can travel to several locations. Once you arrive in the location, you'll have the opportunity to choose from several actions to perform. These actions vary from place to place and are also based on the time of day. For example, you can exercise in the gym and swim during the day, get a drink in the evening, and so on. Sometimes you'll encounter another character and a cutscene will play with a dialogue choice. Picking the right dialogue choices will increase your relationship status with one of the 4 dateable characters. Winning the game. The game has 8 different romance endings and 1 solo ending. There are 4 dateable characters in the game: Aaron, Lawrence, Eddie and Hugh. Each of them has 2 different endings, a normal ending and a special ending. To get a character's normal ending, you need to maximize their relationship value by picking the right dialogue choices. To get the special ending instead, you need to maximize the relationship value in a specific character-related statistic. Culture for Lawrence, creativity for Hugh, discipline for Eddie, and romance for Aaron. Good luck and have fun playing through the game. Yes, finally! Okay, let's just start off on easy. Stand intro. We were walking together hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. I probably should do voices. We were walking together hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. The evening was wearing on, and the warm colours of twilight were starting to fade from the sky. I don't know what to do. You're doing enough. Don't worry about things so much. But he still doesn't approve of me. Do you think he doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks that doesn't earn enough money. Or that I should be doing something better. I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I could find. Okay, and I'll read my normal voice for these, I guess. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. I know he feels bad that his father, Osher, was creating... The hell kind of name is that? Was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn. Actually, that's not a good voice for him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn.
I know some people think that I could do better. It's not like a job at an ice cream parlor is anything special.
I am attending my first year of college for creative writing. It's a natural fit since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I had to take a part-time job during the summer to pay for my studies.
Some girls in my classes have really good summer jobs.
Honestly, I don't think he'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading first. I don't think it's anything personal, he's just being stubborn.
Yes, but after all this time I really thought that he would have warmed up to me by now.
He just doesn't understand that we're serious about our relationship.
Or he doesn't want to understand. It's just so exasperating, since everyone else has been so supportive of us.
He'll come around eventually. It's just a matter of time. I need to get a better voice for him. He'll come around eventually. No, that's terrible too. He'll come around eventually. It's just a matter of time. There we go, that'll do.
I suppose so. I hope so. I wish he wouldn't object almost every time. I just wish he wouldn't object almost every time he finds out that we're going on a date.
I know, but it'll get better soon. I promise. We reached the staircase and that led back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned around to face me. He took my other hand in his and leaned down, gently kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly, feeling my anxiety melt away. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. I returned the smile and leaned up to kiss him again.
You're such a romantic.
You make it sound like a bad thing. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand.
This definitely is how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side.
Let's go home, alright?
Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything, you know.
Sure.
They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. We should split one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorbike and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding on tightly. I rested my head against his broad shoulders and let a contented sigh across my lips as the engine started up. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon and the darkness of night began to overtake the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute and onto the nearly empty road that led back into town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. What are we zooming into right now? Oh. We were only driving for a short while before a strange feeling of foreboding settled over me. I shivered involuntarily, despite the warm temperature, and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for us for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We patiently waited for the light to change colour, and when the green circle let off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving. We had just entered the intersection when very suddenly I heard it.
What?
I looked up, eyes wide with confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, smoothing back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the red light and collided with us. All I remembered before the hellacious sound of the crash and losing consciousness was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of the lights above me were almost blinding. Though I never spent much time in a hospital, I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar to what one I smelled in a doctor's office.
Where am I?
It took me another moment of waiting for my eyes to adjust in the bright lights before I remembered what had happened. My eyes widened in horror as the vividness of the memory.
Aaron!
Oh, her morale dropped. I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out of the hallway heard my sudden cry and quickly hurried inside my room. Miss, please, lay back down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash, but we would like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I will be looking after you until that time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet.
We were in a car accident, right?
That's correct. Please, lay down. We're very glad to see you're conscious, but your rest is imperative. I reluctantly laid back down, but I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I heard a proper explanation.
Can you tell me what happened? What about the man who was with me? Aaron, is he okay?
The nurse's expression seemed to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more.
What happened? I have to know!
I am not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything for you. Whoa. I waited impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few moments for a handsome young man in doctor's uniform to enter the room. I was surprised to see that he wasn't all that much older than Aaron and I. Most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Good evening, Amy. No. Good evening, Amy. I'm very glad to see you're awake. My name is Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie. The man said with a warm smile revealing perfectly white teeth.
Yes, good evening. What time is it? Is it still Saturday?
Actually, it's technically Sunday. It's 3 in the morning. I'd be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon.
I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron.
The doctor's smile faded, his reaction much like the nurse's. Unable to hold back my growing worry, I found myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes.
I have to know what happened to him, please! Is he alright?
Eddie stood up and nodded toward the door, monitoring for me to follow. I felt my heart sink, then begin to feel with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you, he's fine and his life is in no danger. He's sustained a head injury. He will recover, and it doesn't seem to have done any severe damage, but he's lost some of his memories. We're still trying to observe the specifics of what he has forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me. I can take you to him so you can see that he is alright. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed after the young doctor as he led me out in the hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word he said. From what I can tell, he was trying to protect you during the crash. We're keeping you overnight for observations, but other than some bruises, you're perfectly okay. You don't have any broken bones or severe internal bleeding, thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart wrench as I followed him through the hallways. He wasn't walking very quickly, apparently conscientious of how tired I felt.
Aaron.
From what we can tell, Aaron is suffering from amnesia. He still retains some long-term memories, but his recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, so we want to be sure not to cause him any unnecessary emotional stress. We need him to regain his memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps.
I see.
Whoa, okay, room change. This is my studio. I know this is a lot to take in, so please feel free to ask me any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't seem to recall anything from recent years.
You mean he doesn't remember me?
I'm sorry. We asked him about having a girlfriend, but he doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name of Amy. I felt the tears I'd be determined not to cry welling up again, ready to fall.
I see.
We walked through the doorway and into a room with a glass window that let me see into Aaron's room. I'm sorry to ask this of you, But since we don't want to cause him any grief or aggravate his condition, I must ask that you do not meet with him yet. He's very confused and needs rest.
I understand.
I remained there for a long time watching him and letting tears silently slip down my cheeks. Easy now. As two nurses spoke with Aaron, who wore a perplexed expression.
How could you forget all about me?
Oh. Okay. My morale is now at 10. We're not feeling very great. I've got $50. It is June the 8th. And now I can move between locations using the map. Right now you can only return back to your home, but later in the game you'll be able to move wherever you want. Okay. Let's park. I want to go here. You live home with your Aunt Gwenda and your cat Nina. I was released from the hospital in the morning and came right home. When I walked inside, I was greeted with a soft meow when my cat, Nina, brushed up against my leg. I'll just save this now. Oh, save. There we go. Okay, return.
Hi, Nina, did you miss me?
I smiled and reached down to pet her affectionately, though I couldn't help but remember how Aaron would always fuss over her. Nina was a great judge of character, and she adored Aaron, even before he started bringing treats for her all the time.
Aaron always loved cats so much. He loved big cats and little cats like you, but you were always his favorite kitty.
Nina cuddled my fingers affectionately when I knelt down to pick her up.
But Aaron has probably forgotten about you, too.
The sadness I'd been trying to keep out at the front of my mind returned as I pulled my cat into an embrace inside. I had slept very poorly, and the fatigue from the crash hadn't worn off.
I lost my parents in a car accident, and now it looks like I'm going to lose the man I love to one as well.
I sat in the living room with Nina on my lap when Gwenda came in to comfort me. Oh, Amy, what happened? I briefly tell her about the accident. She was overjoyed to know that I was alright and that I'd hardly been hurt.
Oh, thank God you're okay. But didn't you call me? Or why didn't you call me? The doctor said I was alright, and I didn't want you to worry about me.
I've been staying with my Aunt Gwenda for several years. Since my parents passed away when I was still young, Gwenda has taken care of me ever since. She is a kind woman, and I greatly appreciated how caring she has always been to me. However, her pension wasn't enough to fully pay for my college tuition, which is why I took the part-time job at the ice cream parlor. You may now make your first choice. Several icons will pop up showing all the possible actions in this location. On each icon, you will see a brief description and the effects of the action. Each choice consumes at least one turn of game time. Some actions are only available during certain periods of the day. For example, Aunt Gwenda goes to bed very early, so you won't find her hanging around at late hours. It's now noon, so now's a good time to eat something, or you can just relax and read a book. Okay, so talk with Gwenda. If I succeed, morale and some stats go up. If I fail, morale goes down. Success for reading an old book is morale and some stats go up, energy down. I think we'll go for cook something. Morale and energy up. Yeah. Yeah! Success. I spent some time cooking, trying a new recipe, and the result was excellent. Creativity +1, morale +6. I lost $18, and I gained 8 energy.
Amy, I prepared your favorite cake!
Thanks, Gwenda.
Thanks, Gwenda, but I'd like to stay alone for a while and rest, okay? I didn't sleep very well at the hospital. I had too much on my mind. That's fine. Get some rest. You can eat a piece of cake tomorrow morning before you go to work. Good night, Gwenda.
I went to my bedroom with Nina in my arms and sat down at my desk. I picked a notebook up and decided to try and get my feelings under control in the most familiar way I knew, writing about them. I picked up a pen and started writing a poem.
Your gentle touch, the warmth of your embrace, the passion of your kiss, precious times that felt ever so divine. I thought they would never leave me or leave, but even though I can't reach you anymore, I can't open my eyes to find you there. I'll always have my memories. Though they are not as warm as the hands that always made me feel so safe, I know they will never disappear as you now have.
Fucking hell.
My beloved, my heart is forever yours, even if you're lost, beyond where my trembling voice can reach you.
Sorry, I just need to lubricate my voice.
Even if your memories fade or disappear into the darkness, I'll never forget the precious times when we faced the world together. My beloved, for today, for tomorrow, for the days that may never return, never forget the words once exchanged. I love you.
And costume change. When I woke that morning, I knew I had to go to the ice cream parlor. It was Sunday, and I had a long shift to attend to. Let's save. Yes. I considered calling out, knowing that they would understand. Okay. I considered calling out, knowing that they would understand if I explained the situation, but decided it would be best to go in anyway. Otherwise, everyone would start to worry about me. I had no doubt that news of the accident was already travelling quickly. Gossip seemed to get around in town eerily fast. Okay, we're going here, to the ice cream parlor. During summer, you work in this ice cream parlor to pay for your studies. Okay. I got ready and arrived at the shop 15 minutes before the start of my shift. It's very prompt. I hadn't wanted to dwell at home, I hadn't wanted to dwell at home, though as soon as I walked in, I knew it was too early. It was still early in the morning, and there were only a few customers around. I was surprised to see the sight of a familiar face seated at one of the tables, apparently taking a break from work. Hey, Amy, are you alright? That's going to be his voice. I couldn't help but notice the genuine worry on his expression when he saw the bruises on my arms and legs. I appreciated his concern.
Good morning, Lawrence. I'm doing okay.
Are you sure? Those bruises look really painful.
Yes, I'm sure. They really aren't as bad as they look.
Really? I don't know if I could work with bruises that big. You're a strong woman.
Heh, I hardly feel them. Thanks, though.
How did it happen? You aren't in any trouble, are you? Tell him everything or keep your privacy. Let's tell him everything. He seems harmless enough.
Well, I got in a car accident.
What? When was that? How did it happen? I felt a little bad for worrying him, but the tenderness in his eyes made me feel slightly better. It was nice to know that there were people who cared. I decided to explain to him what had happened, since there was little secret to it.
I was on the motorcycle with Aaron. He protected me when we got into the crash. That's why I'm not very badly hurt. It wasn't his fault. They think the other driver was drunk.
That's terrible. How's Aaron? I haven't heard anything about him recently.
Actually, Aaron suffered a head injury. He has amnesia now.
I'm sorry to hear that. How bad was it? Will he recover?
They think he will, luckily. It isn't too expensive, but
But
he doesn't remember me anymore.
Lauren's eyes widened slightly when I revealed the cost of Aaron's protection. Amy.
It's not bad, though. Thanks for worrying about me. Oh, it's not so bad, though. Thanks for worrying about me, Lawrence.
Relationship change +5. Lawrence White. Cool.
It's really nice to see people who still care, but I've got to start my shift. I'll talk to you more later.
See you later. During the summer, Amy works part-time from morning till noon, from Monday to Friday, as a waitress in an ice cream parlor owned by an old friend of Gwenda's. She gets paid only with tips, usually around $5 each turn. Being kind to customers will earn her more money, so depending on her mood, she can earn more. There are good days and bad days, but in general, working will always lower her energy by a good amount and morale by a small amount. This energy can be restored in several ways. Some are drinking or eating, relaxing or talking, relaxing or taking a nap at home, and at the end of every day when you get into bed. There are other ways to gain both energy and morale, and also improve Amy's stats, but discovering them is part of the fun of playing the game. Now the workday will start and you'll see the results. If this first week goes bad, don't worry, this is normal. Amy's morale is very low because of what just happened.
That could have gone better.
Oh. Failure. I could do much better than this. She lost 3 morale, she got $5, and she lost 3 energy.
Yes!
Oh! Success! I worked hard and did an awesome job. Lost 2 morale, got got $9, and lost 9 energy. At noon, your regular shift is over, but you can come here again and decide to do overtime if you have enough morale and energy until evening. You can also come here any time to perform other actions, like talking with Lawrence, who works there full-time every day until evening, or get an ice cream for yourself. Remember though that doing overtime is very stressing action, and if your morale is low, it's a really bad idea.
I still feel weak. I better be going. It would be better if I go back home now. I don't think they would allow me to see Aaron yet anyway.
Okay. We're going home. When I got home after work, I found the house empty except for my cat Nina. Nina and I went up to my room and turned the computer on to check my email, mostly to see if there was any news from Aaron's family or the hospital. I knew it was rather unlikely to have some more correspondence from them so soon, but I couldn't help but hold on to the hope that there would be something new. I sat down at my desk and looked around my inbox, scanning the titles and senders of new and unread messages. I found when I saw there was nothing new from Eddie or anyone else from the hospital crew.
Nothing good. Too bad.
I decided to do some research on amnesia. It took a while before I found anything interesting, but after a bit of searching around, I found the following explanations about the basics of amnesia. Amnesia is a condition in which memory is disturbed or lost completely. People can forget about things they did, or simply fail to remember the things they're currently doing in the near future. I kept reading, but it only got confused from the more complicated medical terms. I was distracted from my reading when a small notification box saying I had new email popped up. Ooh, from secret admirer at net.rr.edu to amy21 at mybookreviews.com. Subject, you have one new email inbox message. I clicked it a bit absent-mindedly, since the address was unknown.
Maybe I shouldn't open it. It could be virus or spam.
Nina hopped up on the desk and meowed rather loudly.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to see what it is. Right, Nina?
I opened the email, eyeing the unknown address warily. The message was simple and written in plain black text. Hey there, Amy. I hear you're quite the poet. I'd love to read more of your work, but you don't really share it with anyone, do you? I'm a big fan and your secret admirer, as the saying goes. Keep writing, girl. We'll ignore the message. I shook my head slightly and clicked back into the inbox, deciding to ignore the unusual message. I was about to check my book review blog when the computer was shut down. Well, when the computer shut down. I tried to restart it several times, but nothing happened. My computer just had to break at a time like this. For a moment I thought it might have been a virus from that mysterious email, but then realized that was silly. The computer wouldn't even turn on, so the failure was clearly in the hardware. Nina, still sitting at my desk, gave me a puzzled look.
Great. Now I won't be able to check my email or blog from home anymore.
Aww.
My computer broke. I'll have to buy a new one. Why is this all happening at once?
And she's lost 3 morale.
I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have to work.
Okay, so first day. Gain 1 creativity. We lost 2 morale. We lost 8 energy. And there was +5 to Lawrence. So now it's up to 10. I also lost $4. So that sucks.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Success! I slept really well. I dreamed I was in a world made of ice cream. Morale +12, energy +26. Alright, let's go on to day 2. Woo! Right. I need to hurry. My morning shift at the ice cream shop starts soon. Failure. I could do much better than this. Lost 4 morale, got $4, and lost 4 energy. Yep.
Pretend you didn't see that.
Oh, okay. Lost 5 morale, got $2, and lost 7 energy. This is not going very well. Excuse me. I want to go to the hospital today. I want to see Aaron. I miss him. Save it. Just before anything else happens. Where's the hospital? Here's the hospital. What else is on here? Let's have a look around. Okay, we have nothing up there. Ice cream parlor. Your home. House you can't go to. A restaurant. Disco pub. Okay. The town's library. The gym. And the hospital. I went to the hospital to go visit Aaron, but as soon as I entered his room, I had the feeling the visit wasn't going to go very well. Uh-oh.
Good morning, Aaron.
Hi. Oh wait, I need a different voice. Hi. That'll do.
How are you feeling today?
A little better, thanks. He smiled at me politely, but without any of the tenderness I was used to seeing. An awkward silence settled in as I sat down at the chair beside his bed. Lacking in any other ideas to really get the conversation going, I decided to start with something simple. I didn't want to pressure him to anything that the medics wouldn't approve of me discussing with them.
How's the hospital food around here? Is it okay?
It's pretty good. Definitely better than I can cook.
Hee, I'm glad you like it, but I'm sure not that bad of a cook. I'm sure you're not that bad of a cook.
You've never had my cooking then. I went to say that I had, but quickly restrained. He wasn't a very good cook, but it made it more fun when I came to the ice cream parlor or when I cooked for him. By the way, I was wondering.
Yes?
Who are you? The question was so simple, so polite, so impersonal, but it still broke my heart. Ooh, tell him you're a friend or tell him you're his girlfriend? Screw it. His words hurt and they cut too deeply for my facade to remain in place.
Aaron, don't you recognize me at all?
No, sorry I don't.
My name is Amy. Does that ring any bells?
No. Unable to hold the words back, I simply had to tell him the truth.
Aaron, I'm your girlfriend.
A look of shock came over his face when I revealed the truth to him. That's impossible. I don't remember that at all. The bluntness of his response hurt, but not as much as the initial question. He looked clearly upset by my words, and the monitor beside his bed revealed that his pulse had started to increase rapidly.
But it's true!
No, it's not. I already have. Before he could finish, 2 medics hurried into the room carrying a readied needle.
What?
Oh! That went down. Okay, Aaron is not happy. I couldn't get a word in edgewise since things moved too quickly. One of the medics pulled me out of the room while the other had told him to calm down and injected him with the needle. A relaxed expression came over his face almost immediately, and I realized they were sedating him. Once we were out in the hallway, a nurse cast me a stern look.
Miss, you can't just tell him things like that. Didn't you see how much it upset him? I'm sorry.
Even after I left the hospital, something still haunted my mind. What was he about to say? I already have? I honestly didn't want to think about what that could have meant. You're on your own now. Use the map to move between the various locations, and then click on the icons to perform actions. Explore all the locations to get familiar with the different activities that you can do. Will you manage to reunite with Aaron, or will you fall in love with someone else? It's up to you. Alright. It is sunset. She hasn't eaten today, so let's go to the luxurious restaurant with her $52. Le Chateau is one of the most exclusive restaurants in town. Because of that, I want to have dinner here. Oh, but because of that, if I want to have dinner here, I should wear an elegant dress. The chef is a real... full of creativity, and I could learn much from the dishes if I get a chance to have dinner here. I don't have appropriate dress to come here. I need to buy something really elegant. Oh, okay. What about the gym? No, work it off at the gym or relax at the park? I would work it off at the gym. The town's main gym is really cool. There are 2 big pools where I can practice swimming and several pieces of equipment I can use. Doing physical activity is a really good way to increase morale and discipline. However, the gym is quite expensive. I can buy a 1-day ticket for the family-friendly pool for $5, but it's often overcrowded by parents and their loud kids. I get access to the gym for $75 a month. Getting access to both the gym and the exclusive pool is $100 a month. At night, the gym and pool is closed to the public, but there is a small pub open that offers drinks and snacks. Let's get a drink. Yay!
That was really refreshing.
Oh, that's not really her voice, is it? Morale 1, lost $7, 2 energy.
It's late, I need to go back home now. I must go to sleep now, tomorrow I have to work!
Alright, so day 2. So we got 4 morale, 17 energy. We lost 5 points with Aaron, and we didn't gain any other points with anybody else, and I lost $1.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Nina came to sleep near my feet, and her presence made me feel sleep peacefully. Morale plus 7, energy plus 17. Wow, my energy is skyrocketing now. That's great. I was ready to leave for the ice cream shop when the phone rang.
Hello?
Miss Fitch?
Oh yes, I remember Ranster. You are... Eddie.
Yes, I need to talk with you about Aaron. Uh-oh.
Is everything alright?
Yes, don't worry. Everything is okay. I heard you paid him a visit yesterday, and I'd like to talk to you about some things. Oh, you are so in trouble. We agreed to meet in his office in the afternoon, after my shift at the ice cream shop had ended. Right, let's save here. I need to hurry. My morning shift at the ice cream shop starts soon. And she's not doing very good. $5, but lost 4 morale and 3 energy.
Could have gone better.
And again, minus 6 energy, minus 4 morale, and plus $4. Alright. You're terrible. I quickly change clothes and I get ready to go to the hospital tour with Eddie. I wonder what he wants to talk about. He's gonna tell you off for upsetting his patient. As soon as I entered the hospital, I met with Eddie. He nodded at me and made a gesture to follow him into his office. I took a deep breath, vaguely registering the sound of our footsteps tapping their way through the corridor. He does not look impressed. Eddie led me into his office, and I distantly noticed his occasional glances, but I was too absorbed in my own frantic thoughts to care. We stepped through the door, and he quietly closed it behind me. "Please, have a seat." I sunk into a cushioned chair in front of the desk and watched him hopefully.
Tell me how he can get better.
Well, you have to understand that his condition is somewhat difficult to treat. We'll of course be encouraging his memory to return by talking to his family and friends, putting him in situations of previous memories, things like that. The therapist can tell you more about exactly what they'll be doing. There's also the possibility of prescribing him certain medicines, but we only keep that option open for extreme cases. I nodded, hanging on to his every word. The key is that he regains his memory slowly and carefully. Oh, my alarm went off. I have a Trade Me auction that I'm keeping tabs on, which now you all know about. And I kind of want to win it, so I can stream what game I'm trying to win from there. Right, I will keep an eye on that. The key is that... The key is that he regains his memory slowly and carefully. This sort of psychology is not my specialty, but we have to be careful of any psychological stress. Amnesia is tricky to begin with. We can't risk any more complications by trying to force him to remember. The funny thing is, when I set the alarm on my phone for that auction, I thought, I've got to be careful that it doesn't go off while I'm streaming. Not streaming, recording this. And what happened? It went off while I was recording this. So, I'm just gonna have a look at this. Keep an eye on it in the background. Consummate professional. Alright, 17 minutes until it closes. Alright. Amnesia is tricky to begin with. We can't risk any more complications by trying to force him to remember. My heart sank. Aww.
So what you're saying is, he won't be remembering me anytime soon.
He looked at me kindly. Probably not, but there is a way you can help.
How? Tell me! I'll do anything!
Well, you know him very well. It could be a great help if you could think of some situations that might help him regain some memories. Situations from his past. Places he's been. Activities he likes. Things like that. I nodded my head slowly and tried to reconcile myself to all of the unbelievable things that had happened recently. Cry or go away. Okay, he likes discipline, so we're gonna cry. But the truth was difficult to accept, and as full, awful realization sank in, my tired mind and body could bear it no longer. Tears formed unwittingly at the corners of my eyes, and they dripped down my face in rivulets. My shoulders began to shake, and I covered my face with my hands, trying desperately to muffle the sounds of my lamentation. Eddie hovered awkwardly, uncomfortable, and at a near total loss of what to do. Pulling himself together, he walked forward and knelt on the ground in front of me and rested his hands on my shoulders. Miss Amarantha?
Call me Amy.
Amy, it'll be alright. It's not that bad.
Do you really think so?
I know so. It's very encouraging that he didn't lose his entire memory, only that of the last few years. And if it doesn't come back, you can always make new memories. I nodded at his words and smiled, wiping away the tears. Awesome! We got 5+ for Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Now excuse me, Miss Amy, but I have to go. Okay. Let's go... Is it sunset? Let's go read a book. Ah, the library is my favorite place to be. Here I can borrow new books to read at home, practice my writing skills, or during the weekends I can attend creative writing courses in the evening. I can also use the library's computers to access the internet and update my personal blog where I review books or check my email. New books arrive every Monday and Friday, so I must make sure to come here on those days if I want to have a chance to get new books. Okay, so I can practice writing, update my blog, or read old book. Let's update the blog. Woohoo! Wow, a famous site linked to my blog. I have lots of new visitors. I'm very motivated to review more books now. Discipline +2, morale +4, energy -4.
It's late. I need to get back home now.
Let's save it there. Ah!
I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have to work!
Okay, so today was a better day. All green. So +2 discipline, +3 morale, +4 for energy. We got 5 points for Eddie, and we made $9. Alright. Woohoo! I slept really well. I dreamed I was in a world made of ice cream. Morale +8, energy +24. Things are looking up for Amy. Alright. The next morning I decided to follow Eddie's suggestions. I grabbed a book from my library, the first book of the Pendragon series by DJ McHale. Aaron loved it. I'm going to bring this with me at the hospital next time. I need to hurry. My morning shift at the ice cream shop starts soon. Off we go. I just started my shift when I heard a familiar voice. Amy? I looked up from the change in the cash register that I was counting to meet his gaze.
Yes?
I wanted to talk to you about what happened.
Yes?
Lawrence looked away, unable to continue looking at me in the eye. He was always rather shy, and he often resorted to text messages since he was more comfortable with it. You know, I'll always be here. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'd be glad to listen. After all, we're friends, right?
Right.
Oh.
Right. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that.
Wasn't expecting this.
Oh, and I'm still crap at my job. $2! That's bad. That's really bad. Amy, cut it out. We need to sort this out. I quickly changed clothes, eager to give the book to Aaron to see if he remembers it. Alright, let's see if we can have a better reaction from him today. When I arrived at the hospital, I was surprised when the receptionist said there was already someone visiting Aaron. Uh-oh. At first I was glad to hear that, since it probably meant it was one of his friends had come to drop in for a visit. Even if it was just one of his friends from school, talking to people he used to know would probably help him with his memory. However, when I entered the room, what I found was anything but pleasant. Uh-oh. I stopped in the doorway and stared for a moment, my eyes widening as my heart went cold. No clear thoughts passed through my mind, and I couldn't seem to bring myself to even take one step closer. Abigail, Aaron's ex-girlfriend, was seated beside him. She wore a smile that was so obviously fake it almost made me sick to see it. I knew all too well why they broke up. Quite a while before we got together, she was a manipulative girl who never really loved him. The idea that the lapse in his memory would make him think that she was his real girlfriend, I found myself shuddering at the thought. Oh, Amy. Oh, wait, Oh, Amy. Oh, Amy, good morning.
Who are you?
I didn't reply, simply staring at the reality of the situation. Simply staring as the reality of the situation sank in. Abigail knew perfectly well who I was. She was just acting. What an ass! She's a friend of mine. She came here to visit me yesterday. She's a friend of mine. She came here to visit me yesterday. Oh, I see. I guess that's gonna be her voice. Maybe... Yeah. Oh, I see.
Don't you know who I am, Abigail?
Well, I don't think I'd remember someone as ordinary looking as yo. Try to get her to confess or give him the book. Let's just give him the book.
I see. Well, anyway, I bought a book for you, Aaron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of your favorites. It's the first book of the Pendragon series by G.J. McHale.
That sounds really familiar. Isn't that a children's book? I pulled the softcover out of my purse as I walked over to sit down on the chair on the other side of this bed.
Technically, it's young adult.
Oh, was the main character's name Bobby? I smiled as I handed him the book, and a look of recognition came over his face.
That's right. We would always pre-order the new books as they came out at the bookstore. They were such fun to read.
I remember this. I got into it a long time ago. I was so young, but they were too fun to read. Oh, they were too fun to read to grow out of.
Right.
Well, I think I've heard of it once, too. Thanks for bringing this, Amy. I really like this book.
You can keep it if you want.
Yay! Plus 5 points. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah. If you like, I could read it to you if you don't feel well enough.
How about I read it to him? There are quite a few books in the series. How about you each read me one? Aaron smiled cheerfully as he asked the question, even though Abigail frowned at me for a moment before faking another smile for Aaron. I couldn't help but feel somewhat satisfied with myself. It was a small step, but at least he remembered something that didn't involve Abigail. I don't know what her intentions are, but Abigail is unlikely to get up in the morning, so I'll only find the hospital visiting Aaron in the afternoon or evening. Unfortunately, since I work every morning until noon, that means that I won't have many occasions to see him alone. Okay, let's go to the park. The park is really so beautiful. It's a perfect place to relax, away from the chaos of the big town. Well, it's not that big. I can relax by taking a walk, or by reading a book, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. Or if I'm in shape, I can do some jogging to increase my morale. The park is closed at this hour. I guess I should go somewhere else. Okay. Maybe I can go... Sorry, miss.
Oh, I am Aaron Corn's friend and...
I'm sorry, but we don't allow visitors at this hour unless they're relatives.
I say, I'll be coming back tomorrow then.
Visiting hours are from morning till evening. Okay. Let's go to the Trendy Disco. This is one of the most trendy pubs in the whole town. All you can do here until sunset is have a quick snack. But after sunset, it really comes to life. During the weekend, you can attend live concerts, and from Monday to Friday, you can have a drink, dance, or eat some really good dishes. Unlike the expensive restaurant, which requires elegant clothing, I can come here even in casual clothes. Let's just dance. Yay! Morale plus 5, minus 8 energy.
It's late. I need to go back home now. I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have to work.
Okay, and I think that's where we'll leave it for today. So, morale plus 3, energy plus 8. We got 5 points with Aaron, so we haven't really done anything with Hugh, but we've met the other 3. We didn't start off very well with Aaron. We were fine with Hugh, and we've been fine with Lawrence. And I've got $4. I made $4, so I have $58. Yay! And she slept well, so good morale and energy stats. But we're going to save it here. And that is it for today. So that is Always Remember Me. I'm going to carry on with this and progress through to the end of the game. I don't know who will romance We might not actually end up romancing anyone if I make the wrong choices. But we will say what is true to Amy, and by what I mean with that is what I feel like at the time. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you subscribe, you can get updated instantly when we have new videos and things up. I also do Twitch streaming under Sly Tiger. What is my I can't remember my Twitch channel. It'll be somewhere in the comments. And we also have slytigergaming.com for our site, and you can see other content there. Also, there is a podcast on iTunes. I'm just randomly remembering everything now, but not in a very good order. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, please vote up, and yeah, again, subscribe. It'll mean a lot to me. Alright, that's it for part 1 of Always Remember Me, and we'll carry on with this next time. Thanks for watching!